Okay, so I am making this comprehensive tier list of some of the fruits I've tried over the years. These are some more of the rare and exotic fruits, and some of them are good, some of them are okay, some are not so great. So let's get right into it. S is at the top. S stands for superior, then A, B, C, D, D being the worst. Let's start with Sapodilla. Sapodilla is a good fruit, and I might want to preface that a lot of these are variety, like some Sapodillas are great, some varieties are amazing, some are not so great. And that's the case with a lot of these fruits. I'm just going to go with an overall general rating of some of the fruits that I've tried. This has nothing to do with how to grow them, if they're hard to grow, if they're easy to grow. This is purely based off of the taste of the fruits from the ones I grow most of these, and how they taste. It's going to be hard not to be biased with how difficult some of them are to fruit and their production, but I'm just going for this video just based off of taste. So we'll start with Sapodilla. I've had some really good ones. I would put this in the A to S category. It is a sugary, sweet fruit, very delicious. Tastes almost like the grittiness of a pear, like a Bosc pear, with a little bit of caramel and brown sugar taste. I really look forward to having them. Maybe a butterscotch Sapodilla would be an S, but overall I'm gonna go A. Next, we have mangosteen. That fruit I do not grow. It is too hard to grow, too cold sensitive, but the fruit is amazing. That's an easy S. It's the texture is amazing. It melts in your mouth. It is fresh, refreshing. It is super sweet with a little bit of tanginess, well-rounded. Purple mangosteen, delicious, easy S. Kiwano, and I don't know if this is more of a fruit. I've grown them and eaten them before. It is like a sour cucumber. Not my favorite. I can see how some people would like it. For me, I'm gonna have to go D. Not my favorite, but some people enjoy them. Let's go Jamun. So Jamun is a tree that I am growing and fruiting. It's pretty good. It has that astringency to it. I really do look forward to getting them off the tree. When I see Jamuns on the tree, I get really excited. I like more sweet tasting fruits. This one has sweetness to it, but it also has some astringency and maybe if picked a little too early, a little bit of sourness. I'm between B and A. I mean, it's a good fruit. The astringency, I'm gonna go A. I really look forward to having a Jamun on the tree. They are delicious. They have the astringency. When I first started growing them, I would have put it in probably a C or a B category at best. But now that I've eaten them, I know what they're like. I'm gonna go A. We've got down here this is a wax jambu. Wax jambu is good. It's maybe on the drier side of fruits, at least my tree, from the ones I've eaten, the red wax jambu. It's good when they're fruiting out in the grove if it's really hot out and you just want something crunchy. The skin is thin and waxy. It's sweet, a little succulent, not a heck of a lot going on. I'll put it in the, I'm between C and B, but I'm probably going to go C. It's a good fruit, don't get me wrong. I would take a Malay apple over a wax jambu. Malay apple is more juicy. And speaking of Malay apple, I have one here. Malay apple is very similar, but it has more flavor, more sweetness. It has a little bit more juice in it, I would say. When you get a good Malay apple, this is an easy A for me. More tropical, harder to grow. I'm in Central Florida, so a lot of these things are tough to grow here, but we do it like the Cecropia, the gummy worm fruit. Cecropia is good. The fruit tastes like sugar water. It's sweet. There's not a heck of a lot of complexity going on. It's really just a sweet, sugary water. The novelty of the fruit puts it up there for me. It is so cool. There's not a lot of other fruits that I've seen that have this texture. They're soft. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in an A as well. I get excited when my tree is making fruits, and it's a really fun one to show people who don't know a lot about fruits. I've got black sapote. Black sapote is okay. It's good with a caveat of I like it when I put cinnamon on it and whipped cream, because the fruit itself is more, it's a sweet, bland flavor. It doesn't taste like chocolate pudding. It looks like chocolate pudding. I don't get any chocolateness out of it. Some people really like them, but there are better things to grow. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in a C category. On the sapotes, let's move on to white sapote. White sapote I'm growing, and white sapote is one of my favorite fruits. This is deliciousness in a fruit. It is sweet, creamy, vanilla, custardy, maybe a little bit of flan. The skin is medicinal. The skin can taste medicinal on the white sapotes, but they do grow well. They take some cold, but for the flavor of the fruit, I'm gonna put white sapote in S. S is amazing. White sapote is delicious. Here we've got grumachama. Grumachama cherries are really good. They're sweet. If my tree was loaded down, I would be eating all of them. This is a great fruit. There's not a heck of a lot of fruit on it. The seeds come out easy, which is nice. The flavor of it is more complex than a cherry, but you know, still, there's nothing crazy going on. It's just a sweet, it's a sweet fruit, maybe a little bit of different berry flavors in there. I'll put that one in an A as well. I get really excited when my tree's fruiting. Let's go ahead and move on to persimmon. Persimmon is great. Maybe this one's not as rare or exotic, but I wanted to include it in here because it is delicious. Whenever there are persimmons on the tree and they're ready to go, there's lots of different kinds. There's fuyu, which is the one I have pictured here. It can be eaten when it's crunchy. It's sweet. It's a great fruit. I think it's one to grow. It can take some cold. The flavor is amazing. I prefer to grow the fuyus, which are the harder ones, versus the ones that get soft. I like the soft Haichia varieties, but they need to be soft if you're gonna eat them. Fuyu's great. You can eat it when it's crunchy. It's delicious. It's like a better apple. I'll put that one in, I'll put that in an A. It's a really good fruit, but S just raises the bar. Rambutan, you can find rambutan at the stores around here, and the fruit flavor is great. The problem I have with rambutan is that the flesh of the fruit sticks to the seeds, so there's like a woodiness. It's like chewing up wood if you're not able to get the flesh off of the seed well. So I cut them, more labor intensive. Rambutan's a good fruit. The woodiness that comes off of the seed is what's going to put it in the B category for me. It's good. It's not, you know, I'll eat them and I like them. I do think there are better things to just eat. Those ones can get difficult if you're wanting to eat a lot of them. They're good, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on rambutan. Rambutan's good. I've got two sugar apples down here. I've got the green and the red. We'll start with the green one. The green one is more common and it is a good fruit. There's quite a few seeds on the inside. It's very, very fruity tasting, like a tropical fruit, quintessential tropical fruit tasting in the Ononaceae family. It is delicious. I really like having those on the tree. I'll put that one in an A. Now we have the red sugar apple. The red sugar apple is similar in flavor. There is something else there with the reds. In my experience, the red is good. The red is good. I would take a fresh green fruit over the red, just because I've had some of the red ones and they taste a little bit more bland. Maybe it's just the tree that I have, maybe not. I'm gonna put the red in the B category. Next we have longan. Longan is a delicious fruit. My fiance does not care for them so much because they do have a cantaloupe taste, and she doesn't like cantaloupes, but I do. I think longans are an awesome fruit to grow. They taste delicious. They taste like a sweet caramel, cantaloupe, easy to eat fruit. You just crack the skin, the seeds come out easily. If there's one seed, this one I'll put in the A as well. Jaboticaba. Jaboticaba is great. My tree just started producing for me the other day, and the fruits off of this tree in particular were so sweet. I think it's just a common, and like I said, a lot of these are variety specific, so if I have one in a category that you don't agree with, you know, there are varieties that are superior and may bump them up. You know, take it with a grain of salt. Jaboticaba is delicious. I'm gonna put Jaboticaba in an S category. They pop in your mouth. The skin is thick and tart, but it's like a muscadine. You eat it, you spit the skin out typically, you spit the seeds out and plant them. Jaboticaba is an S for me. Now we have Atamoya. Atamoya is a cross of some Annonas, and it's like a sugar apple with less seeds, more fruit to seed ratio. The flavor I've found is better, and like, you know, there are different varieties of Atamoya. There's quite a few. Overall, I would put this above sugar apple and above, I put above the B and the A. I put it in an S. It's very good. Now we have ice cream bean. I am growing these and they are good. They, the first 2 or 3 years that I've been growing them, they didn't have the punch that they do now on about year 4. This year, I really got it. I've got some of the best fruits this year, and I get why it's called ice cream bean, because when you get a good one, they are super creamy, very sweet. There's a vanilla-ness to it. It's not super complex. If you're into that and you like a complex fruit, it's not gonna have that quality. It's just a sweet, creamy, the texture is awesome. I'm going to put ice cream bean in the S just because this year my trees, I've got 2 varieties, have made some of the best tasting ones I've had. If you would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, I would have put it in A. But now that my trees have made some really good fruits that actually do the name justice to call it ice cream bean, S for me. Next we have, and I can't believe I would put this one first. This is the best fruit I have had in my life. I am lucky to have tried these. They do not, they're very, very, very rare in the United States. This is called Yangmei. It's from China. This fruit is something that I would dedicate my life to, besides, you know, God. But if I was searching for a fruit, Yangmei, this is the best fruit. This is an incredible fruit. It is just a mix of berry flavor. It tastes like every good berry you've ever had. Merge it into one fruit, add a little bit of, like a lot of juiciness and some crunch to it, and it is amazing. I will put this at the beginning of S because Yangmei is one to look out for. Incredible fruit. Learn some more about it. Look up the Yangmei. It's also called a yumberry, but I call it Yangmei. Next we have lychee. Lychee. Lychees are very good. I prefer them over rambutan for sure. The seeds come out easier so they don't get stuck to the flesh. The fruit's amazing. When you have a good one, there are some sweeter varieties, some that are more tart. I prefer the sweet ones. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lychee in the A category. I'm sure you're more familiar with that one. It's not quite as rare. Next, we have the rose apple. It's also called, the name of it is Syzygium jambos. And it does have a roseness to it. The fruits do taste very floral. You get some rose out of it. I had a weird thing, the ones I've eaten, I've only eaten it a couple times, but they had almost a carrot taste as well, like a crispy fruit, crunchy, that tastes like roses and carrots. Really weird one, worth growing, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the B category. I'll eat them, I like them, but I think there are better Syzygiums to grow. Next we have Rollinia, and my Rollinia trees have fruited for me once or twice, and the fruits are good. They taste almost like a lemony, they call it lemon meringue pie fruit, and I can get that. It's like an annona. It's got that annona-ness to it. That's a new word, but it's a lemony, sweet, very little tartness to the ones I've tried. The texture might throw some people off. It's almost, the texture is not firm by any means when you eat it, unless you pick it early and then want to eat that texture. But it's best eaten when soft, and it has almost a sort of a mucusy-ness to it. But the flavor is great. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the A category. And now we have, the last but not least, this is the custard apple, Annona reticulata. Lots of different varieties. They all don't taste the same. Some are better, some are worse. In my opinion, I think this is a good fruit. Very creamy, yogurty almost. It's a good fruit when they're on the tree. There's a good amount of fruit in there, a good amount of flesh in the fruit. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in the B category. So those are some of the fruits. I wanted to make a comprehensive list. When I was first getting into this, the ones in the S category, I would be chasing after if I were to plant any of them. The A is great. Those are absolutely worth planting. Even the B, I mean, most of these fruits are good. You really can't go wrong. You know, so that's where we're at. Thanks for watching. Be well.